And he promised me he was going to go, but he let that go for a while. I just got more serious. And, he ended up passing away over it. And, we got to take care of our health, Like, without health, you're not going to be able to paint. You're not going to be able to do nothing. So that should be the number one priority for all of us.
Right. I'm sorry for that loss as well. Dr. Toombs, it sounds like you were trying to help the young man as well. Unfortunately, things didn't turn out, Dr. Toombs, I recall meeting you about 20 years ago, and back then you told me you didn't drink or smoke weed. Is that still true?
Yeah, no, I don't drink.
Why don't you drink or smoke weed? Can you please,
I guess I have to be in control at all times, I guess, It's just a personal thing. If I lose my cool, then my boys lose their cool, and bad shit happens, But I gotta be on point at all times to make sure that everything is straight.
You're known for being good friends with a hip-hop innovator and one of the first people to bring weed to the forefront in rap music, Be Real of Cypress Hill. Does he ever try to get you to smoke weed or try it?
No, I remember one time I think it was around Thanksgiving or something, and he had the weed out there, but he doesn't push that on anybody. He's a smoker, he's a real smoker, and he smokes weed, and then when it comes to that, it's a real social drug, and if you wanted it, you would ask him, and you definitely share it with you, you know what I mean? But he's never asked me if I wanted to, I never showed any interest that I wanted to, so I never did. I've been in the room while they're fucking smoking it up and the whole shit's out of box. But I'll step out after a while or whatever,
How do you and Be Real come to meet each other? Was Cypress Hill already well known when you meet?
Oh yeah, definitely. No, I was working for Priority Records, doing street teams and promotions, and I seen that the product was in the trash. So I picked it up out of the trash and I put it up. And one of the members that worked for them, their tour manager, saw me and automatically assumed I was part of the. At that time they were signed to Ref House, Columbia, but I worked for Priority. So he passed by and he goes, "Hey man, we're over here chilling, jump in." And I was like, "I'm not part of your street team." And he's like, "What? I just saw you smash this whole area." And he goes, and I go, "Well, I grew up in that area and I like it. So I seen it at your street team and we're shit. And they threw it in the trash, so I put it up." So he said, "Yo, please come with me." So he took me back there and I met Be Real, DJ Muggs at the time, was Cypress Hill, and Zindo. And Jack and Duke. Jack and Duke just early started and were signed to Be Real's label. And other people were there too, like Mr. Cartoon was there, Stephen Oreo, and other people that, were part of that whole Soul Assassins team. And he was like, "Yo," and he just told me that I did that. And he goes, "You know what? From now on, I'm going to pay you directly. Fuck my label, street team, whatever. Come to my house, pick a product," and that's how it formed, really. They saw that I didn't have to do that. I was getting paid doing that. But I was a fan. I liked the music, and it was my area, and I felt like that, they should be more respected.
Wow, incredible story, man. Did Cypress Hill, anyone in Cycle Realm, know you were TOOMER? When is that revealed?
Oh yeah, well, I was already up on the streets, and artists, rappers, or whatever, musicians, they're humans too, man. They drive by it, they see it up. I remember Snoop Dogg commenting about seeing a big ass TKO on 10 freeway. One time I did a video from. So they have eyes too, You have, art, actors that see it up. You have politicians that see it up, Everybody, gangs, That's actually saved my life a couple of times, bumping into gangs in the hood. And, the reason I smoke is because, "Oh yeah, I've seen you up, oh yeah, I've seen it." So, rappers are humans too, man. And they drive areas too. And they have eyes. They could see it. So they knew who I was. They got a big kick out of it. What better way to promote than a graffiti writer? We're out there all the time.
Another legendary figure who was just all over the Olympics, Big Snoop Dogg. Can you tell about first meeting him? What type of person is Snoop Dogg for those of us who've never run into him before?
Oh, he's real cool, man. He's real mellow, you know. When I met him, I thought he was real, like, almost like pimp-like, you know, a little smooth, you know. Well, I worked for Priority Records, and at that time, Priority Records was a distributor of Death Row. So I was doing all Death Row stuff. So I got to hang out with Tupac, and I met Snoop Dogg, and Shania and Corrupt, and everybody pretty much from Dr. Dre, everybody from because I worked for Priority. I was here, Easy too, because he distributed for Ruthless Records. That's Easy stuff.
I'm not sure if you've heard of this comparison. I've heard it a couple of times. People often compare Suge Knight to Dr. Toombs and Death Row to TKO. Have you ever heard of that comparison? And what are your thoughts about that?
I don't know. Whatever. I mean, as a businessman, he was smart. He put all the artists at the time in the West Coast together and blew up. He took it away from the record labels that were stealing their money. And because he was just a security guard and was working for the record labels, and he saw that, these record labels are stealing from the artists, and he got the money from, a drug lord in prison, and he started Death Row, and he started pushing that. But again, egos and attitudes and beefs and people stealing and people trying to take advantage will do shit like that. You know what I mean? Like, it'll turn people bad. It'll turn people into doing crazy shit because you're bombarded with a bunch of haters. You're bombarded by a bunch of stuff like that. So, of course, you're going to react to it. You know what I mean? It's kill or be killed in these streets.